a celebrity with almost 20 years of #1 singles who was born in Oklahoma. Texas is the title of his most recent work. It bears the state's name. I'll be introducing you 3 times tonight, so please say hello to Blake Shelton. I've already completed 2. I also appreciate you singing it and winging it. Many people are afraid of it, you know. That aired. I pray it doesn't. It has been broadcast. It has been broadcast. Yes, indeed. Indeed, we could. Let's have a conversation. Greetings from our channel again. The name Blake Shelton is well known in the country music industry. In addition to captivating audiences with singles like Austin and God's Country, he also keeps the media busy with stories about his turbulent personal life. Blake's career has constantly been in the news, from being named the Sexiest Man Alive by People magazine to becoming a brilliant coach on The Voice. However, he seldom shares the story behind the stage's dazzle and glamour, which is full of startling romances, infidelity rumors, and very personal challenges. Now that he is 48 years old and has experienced life's ups and downs, Blake has finally spoken up about the rumors that previously made headlines. What really took place? What mysteries are now being revealed? How did a young man from Ada, Oklahoma, become a world-renowned country music star while falling deeply in love with Gwen Stefani? Come along with us as we explore this emotional and surprising trip. Early years and start of a career. On June 18, 1976, Blake Shelton was born in the little Oklahoman town of Ada, which has a population of little over 177,000. In addition to having a strong musical heritage, he was raised in a loving, caring home. His mother, Dorothy Shelton, ran a beauty salon and loved country music, and his father, Richard Shelton, was a car salesman with a strong love for music. Blake was sparked by this mutual passion of music at a very early age. Blake's love of music was apparent from the beginning. His musical adventure began when he was 12 years old and learned to play the guitar from his uncle. Before long, his brilliance became apparent. At the age of 15, he composed his first song. He demonstrated his extraordinary skill by winning the coveted Denbo Diamond Award in Oklahoma at the age of 16. Blake's family life wasn't without its challenges either. When his elder brother, Richie Shelton, died away in a vehicle accident in 1990, he suffered a terrible loss. Blake's life was forever changed by the tragedy, which occurred while he was only 14 years old. Blake subsequently saw the truth of his father's comments, bearing the suffering as a necessary component of his development. "You'll never get over this, son. You'll just learn to live with it." As an homage to Richie, he and Miranda Lambert co-wrote the song Over You many years later. The song became one of his most poignant compositions and earned CMA Song of the Year. At the age of 17, Blake took the risky choice to leave his birthplace and go to Nashville, Tennessee, the epicenter of country music, with aspirations of becoming a famous musician. Nashville's early years were not at all simple. Blake put forth a lot of effort, creating songs for other musicians and taking advantage of every chance to perform in order to establish his reputation. His ascent in the music business was made possible by his unwavering will and ferocious enthusiasm, which enabled him to overcome many challenges. Blake Shelton quickly shown that he was destined to be a musician. Austin, a poignant song about a tragic love affair, was his first single in 2001. The song immediately won over millions of fans with its warm, deep voice and rustic appeal, and it topped the Billboard Hot Country Songs list for 5 weeks in a row. Not only did this mark the beginning of Blake's dazzling career, but it also signaled the arrival of a bright future country music star. Austin's popularity was not just due to its voice or melody, because it conveyed the sensitive feelings of first love and the profound sadness of losing someone loved. The song touched a nerve. It was not only a radio sensation because of its relatability, but it also marked the beginning of Blake's lengthy and promising career as a rising star in the country music industry. After this discovery, he solidified his status with a string of exceptional albums and songs that enthralled listeners. Blake kept getting better, from timeless hits like The Baby to contemporary hits like Honeybee. Albums like Barn and Grill, 2004, and The Dreamer, 2003, demonstrated his exceptional ability to combine classic country ideals with a contemporary twist. Old Red was one of the most notable songs from this era. Blake used his storytelling skills to turn the song into a mini-movie, immersing listeners in the universe he built with each line that vividly depicted people and situations. Following the closure of Giant Records, Blake signed with Warner Brothers Records from 2001 until 2006. His career took enormous leaps at this time. Austin topped the Billboard Hot Country Songs list for 5 weeks, becoming his first #1 single. His popularity went beyond only his songs. He became one of the most recognizable figures in contemporary country music by cultivating an honest and approachable persona. The 2011 release of Blake's album, Red River Blue, marked a turning point in his career. His first album to reach the top of the Billboard 200 list was this one. Blake's music was not limited to typical country audiences, as seen by hits like Honeybee, which captivated fans with its upbeat and hopeful mood. He was able to connect with fans of different ages and musical preferences by breaking down barriers. Blake never lost sight of his origins, even in the face of his meteoric success. His profound affection for his own place and the basic ideals he holds dear are still evident in songs like God's Country. His position in the business has been cemented by the many honors he has received over the years, including 7 People's Choice Awards, 6 ACM Awards, and 10 CMA Awards. His inclusion in the Grand Ole Opry in 2010 was a significant accomplishment that solidified his place among the country music greats. For his consistent contributions to the music industry, he was also admitted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. In addition to his talent, Blake won people over as a coach on The Voice with his genuineness and sense of humor. He became more than simply a celebrity because of his clever quips, commitment to his competitors, and innate ability to connect with people. He became a likable, relatable person. Blake has publicly acknowledged that The Voice changed not just his career, but also his life since it introduced him to Gwen Stefani, who would become his wife and biggest support system. Blake Shelton became a contemporary country music hero after growing up in a little Oklahoman town called Ada. But even at the height of his fame, he maintains his groundedness, which gives his admirers the impression that he is a part of their own family. He has won hearts and stages all around the globe because to his genuineness and innate musical ability. Blake is a genuine representative of country music in addition to being a celebrity. His achievements go beyond reaching the top of the charts. They inspire the next generation with a message of tenacity and enthusiasm for music. Rolling Stone previously called him the face of country music for more than a decade. Rumors, marriage, and music fans in the media have always focused on Blake Shelton's romantic life, despite the chart-topping tunes and the flashing lights on stage. Blake's romantic life is a vibrant tapestry of happiness, heartache, and emotional rejuvenation, spanning from youthful love and turbulent marriages to his endearing connection with Gwen Stefani. Cat Williams had barely graduated from high school when Blake Shelton first met her at the age of 15. During their childhood, their first love bloomed, and in 2003, it culminated in a modest wedding that was only attended by close friends and family. Blake's sincere and grounded personality was evident in the modest ceremony. However, since Blake spent a lot of time away from home, establishing his career in Nashville, their marriage soon encountered difficulties. The couple filed for a formal divorce in 2006, alleging unsuitable marital behavior. Public rumors were sparked by Cat's alleged adultery. Blake eventually acknowledged that he had married his closest friend rather than his genuine love, which is why the relationship terminated. It was a tragic ending, but it also taught him a valuable lesson that changed the way he thought about relationships and love. Blake met Miranda Lambert during the CMT's 100 Greatest Duets event in 2005 after his previous marriage. Even though Miranda was engaged to Jeff Allen and Blake was still married to Cat, they had a strong bond from the first time they took the stage together. Blake said that, although knowing it wasn't meant to be, he fell in love with Miranda on stage. Blake and Miranda started dating after ending their previous relationships, and in 2011 they were married in a ceremony that the country music community praised as a fairy tale. Blake and Miranda developed into a power couple in their early years of marriage, working together on successes like the poignant song Over You, which is about Blake's late brother. But beyond the glitzy facade, flaws started to show. Their relationship was damaged by their busy schedules and increasing distance. Miranda was always on tour, while Blake was a coach on The Voice in Los Angeles much of the time. The situation was made much more difficult by rumors of adultery on both sides. Blake and Miranda's love story, which had been both beautiful and turbulent, came to an end in 2015 when they announced their divorce. Throughout their separation, public scrutiny was heightened by rumors of extramarital relationships. According to Miranda, they were torn apart by the stresses of their life. Blake, however, was subjected to constant media scrutiny despite his denial of the infidelity accusations. Blake's friendship with Gwen Stefani gave him fresh hope amongst the turmoil and heartache. When Gwen started working as a coach on The Voice in 2014, the two initially crossed paths. They developed a link of mutual understanding since they were both healing from the hurt of broken marriages at the time. At first, Blake and Gwen remained friends, but with time, their bond became stronger. They made their relationship public by 2015, and their tale swiftly gained popularity among fans. Gwen and Blake's relationship was more than simply a healing experience. It was a life-changing event. During their private wedding at their ranch in Oklahoma in 2021, Blake accepted his dual roles as Gwen's three-boy stepfather and a devoted husband. Being a stepdad to Apollo, Zuma, and Kingston was a novel and difficult experience, as Blake freely acknowledged. He previously said, "At first I didn't know where I fit into this family, but over time the instincts of being a father came naturally, and it's changed me profoundly." Gwen has also expressed her concerns over their connection. Despite their public persona as the ideal couple, Gwen acknowledged having self-doubt moments and questioning if their relationship would last. "There are days when I question whether I'm still attractive to Blake," she said, "but I've come to realize those are just my insecurities talking." In response, Blake has made it a point to tell Gwen that she is his true love. From producing songs together to caring for their ranch to raising the children together, the couple often shares little but profound moments. Blake and Gwen have remained close despite rumors of scheduling conflicts and arguments over having additional kids. To prove the depth of their love and dispel any rumors of strife, they even co-wrote the song Purple Irises. After years of emotional suffering, Blake reportedly said that Gwen was more than simply his wife. She was the one who helped him realize who he was. "She saved my life, thus she's more than simply the person I love." Leaving The Voice and next projects, Blake Shelton shocked fans by leaving The Voice after 23 seasons, despite years of dominating large venues and being one of the most renowned country music performers. Although it seemed to be a daring decision to many, Blake made it because he wanted to put his family first. Blake has often spoken about how The Voice changed his life in unexpected ways. In addition to enhancing his reputation in Hollywood, it was there that he first met Gwen Stefani, the woman who fundamentally altered his life. But there were compromises involved in being on a long-running television program like The Voice. He had little time for his family because of the long hours on set, the demands of the limelight, and the frequent travel. Blake became aware that he needed to spend more time at home once he married Gwen and became the stepfather to her three boys. He spoke out, "My family is my number one priority. I want to be there when my kids need me, not just as a country music star or a TV coach." His determination to prioritize his family was shown by his choice to quit The Voice. But Blake wasn't abandoning his profession when he left the bright lights of Hollywood. Conversely, he went back to his origins in country music, which served as the basis for his devotion. Blake began an exciting new chapter in his career in 2024 when he signed a new deal with BMG. He released the tune Texas, which has a strong country influence and harkens back to his upbringing and the straightforward principles he has always valued. Blake's departure from Hollywood was more about finding himself and concentrating on what really mattered than it was about taking a step back. Blake has had to learn how to manage his work and stepfather obligations in addition to making a return in music. Parenting Gwen's three sons has been a big task for him since he has never had children of his own. Blake acknowledged that there was a lot of uncertainty in his early days as a stepdad. "I didn't know what I was supposed to do or where I fit in this family, but over time, I realized my role wasn't just as a father, but as a partner and a friend. From bringing the kids to Disneyland and their sporting activities to spending peaceful nights on their ranch in Oklahoma, Blake has discovered happiness in the little things in life. He has publicly acknowledged that he has learned more about himself as a stepfather than he ever imagined. "I used to think I wouldn't be good at this, but now it's the thing I love most about my life," he said. Blake's choice to leave Hollywood has also given him the opportunity to return to the basic principles he formerly held dear. He now devotes his days to caring for the ranch, parenting the children, and producing music rather than a hectic schedule of filmmaking and media engagements. He said that this new equilibrium had given him a feeling of fulfillment and serenity that he had never known before. Blake Shelton's story demonstrates the value of putting family first, finding oneself again, and appreciating the simpler, more significant times in life. Blake Shelton's songs and the simplicity of his daily existence continue to win over fans' hearts despite his lack of regular TV appearances. He has shown that sometimes stepping back is a means of gaining a better understanding of what really matters, rather than a retreat. Blake Shelton views leaving Hollywood as a chance to rediscover the importance of family in the real world, not to give up popularity. Blake famously said, "I've always been a country singer first," and he is now living up to that statement. Blake Shelton has achieved the ideal balance between his personal and professional lives, with a flourishing career, a contented family, and a loving heart. His path is an encouragement to anybody seeking to understand the real meaning of life. Blake Shelton's love for music is still as strong as ever as he embarks on a new chapter in his life. Instead, by putting out significant projects that speak to his fans and his own experiences, he keeps securing his position in the country music industry. Blake's track Texas, which he released after signing with BMG, is a moving ode to his origins and the modest ideals he has always held dear. In addition to announcing his comeback, the song demonstrates his steadfast devotion to country music, which is where he has always belonged. Blake hasn't just worked on solo endeavors. He still works with Gwen Stefani on collaborative musical endeavors. From duets like Happy Anywhere and Nobody But You to their most recent single, Purple Irises, the duo has written songs that not only resonate with their listeners, but also share their personal romantic journey. Gwen has spoken about how composing songs and performing with Blake helps to deepen their relationship. Music is not just how we work, it's how we express our love and respect for each other. Blake and Gwen are involved in charity endeavors outside of their musical careers. Together, they have planned a number of fundraising events to benefit organizations that promote education, animal welfare, and children. Smaller, more intimate acts like saving stray animals on their property demonstrate their love for the community even more than major initiatives. Gwen has often said that she is motivated to work with Blake to make a significant contribution to society because of his compassion and humility. Blake Shelton has said that his family would always come first in his future goals, despite his successful profession. He keeps trying to strike a balance between establishing a solid, loving household and achieving professional success. He is most inspired to follow his artistic passion while always prioritizing his family during happy times spent with Gwen and her 3 boys. "I want my kids to grow up in a home filled with love and togetherness. That's what truly matters," Blake said. In addition to releasing more of his own songs in the future, Blake intends to continue the legacy of country music while experimenting with other genres. "I want to challenge myself but never forget where I came from," he previously said. He also wants to become involved in more community initiatives, especially those that deal with environmental preservation and children's music education. Blake sees more than just large venues and #1 songs when he imagines the future. He sees the future as a peaceful fusion of his love for art and his obligations to his family. Blake will remain true to himself as a gifted musician, a loyal spouse, and a loving father, whether he is performing or relaxing at his comfortable Oklahoma home. Without a doubt, his future path will inspire others with its teachings of compassion, love, and determination, in addition to touching the hearts of his admirers. From strained romances and never-ending rumors to discovering genuine love with Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton's life has been full of highs and lows. What is most commendable, however, is the honesty, humility, and unrelenting optimism with which he has approached every difficulty. His guiding principles, love, family, and passion, are reflected in every choice he has taken, from quitting The Voice to devote more time to his family to going back to his country music roots. It's evident from looking back on this trip that Blake Shelton has won over millions of hearts in addition to the charts. His life itself is a song full of melodies of love, grief, rebirth, and little pleasures. He doesn't only sing about life. Blake is more than just a celebrity. He is a living example of how, with enough perseverance and trust in ourselves, we can always find hope at the end of the tunnel, regardless of the obstacles we encounter. Blake has a long way to go in this adventure. He continues to sing, love, and lead the kind of life that many people would aspire to. What do you think of Blake Shelton's inspiring life journey? Which part of his story resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more incredible stories. We'd love to hear from you.